engine house number 6 was known locally as the haunted firehouse. See, they would hear the bell ring on its own when everybody was outside, and they go inside, who's ringing the bell, and they check, there's nobody there. The horses inside in the stalls would jump about because 1860s, they had them in the stalls. You didn't have fire engines like today. So they go and they have to calm them down. So he goes out to the backyard and he runs over to the well and he looks down the well and he sees his wife and his 5-month-old daughter lying dead at the bottom of the well. Apparently, she had been slandered by a number of the neighbors and she felt she'd been accused of theft. And she felt her reputation damaged so far beyond repair that there was no way forward, so she decided to take her own life. Why she took the life of her own child, I don't know. Probably the worst case of postpartum depression, I don't know. But here's the thing about that well. We're standing at it right now. This was where in our street cemetery, there's about 30,000 people buried here. And that's about 30,000 stories. In almost every case, of course, so your story comes to an end upon your death. That is the end of your story. The gates and the lights were not working on the bridge. They were malfunctioning. And the motorman continued onward right through the gates and then right through the open draw and right into the river, killing 18 people. Next day, the Cleveland Press did an illustration of the hand of death reaching out of the river, grabbing at the car, pulling it down. People of Cleveland were outraged. Got out. The Romanos moved in. Mr. and Mrs. Romano's 2 children, Jimmy and Dee Dee, went upstairs to play. They came down later and asked their mom for a cookie, or their friend, the little girl up on the stairs who was crying. Mrs. Romano went up, looked, and didn't find anybody there. According to Jimmy and Dee Dee, who are now, of course, much older, they're grown-ups, they said that it was more than just that one occasion. It was a number of occasions they would see this little girl in white. They said it was a lot like having an imaginary friend, only she wasn't imagined. But as they got older, they realized that seeing her was not normal. They became a little bit afraid. And the cop comes over, and they go inside, and they're standing in his living room, and bam, 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 banging coming from upstairs. They go and they check the back door, it's locked. They wake up Mr. Rohan. He gets up, he gets a key, and he goes and he opens it, and they go upstairs. There's nobody up there. Everything is exactly as he had left. They go back downstairs, and bam, bam, there it is. It's coming again from the ceiling. And they start trying to figure out what's going on, and it starts answering questions. 1 bang for yes, 2 for no. He suddenly heard the alarm, and he came down, and he sees McDonald and 3 other men standing there, and he's like, I didn't feel a blast. What happened? Why'd you call for me? What's wrong? They said, get us the hell out of here. He said, why? What's up? And McDonald looks at him and says, I just saw Plumber Jones. Uses the archives, though, they would claim that it's haunted by a young boy wearing overalls, seen playing with a ball. And they kept saying that, oh, his ghost only dates to about the time that it was used as the county detention home. There's one long corridor that goes from one end to the other, and then there are a bunch of corridors that come off of it. And there are some rooms that have like dry storage, there are freezers, and then there are refrigerated areas. And there's one down at the other, right at the far end there, and it's right where below where my friend Sean had his thing, that everybody always gets a creepy feeling. The fellow I talked to earlier said the same thing. He said, yeah, that's a bad luck area. It's water pipes that have broken. He said one of our guys back in the 1980s got his arm, he lost his arm, he got it caught in the meat grinder.